We are live!
We're live!
We are live!
Hi, everybody!
Hello! Okay.
I think we need to clean the camera.
You think so?
Yeah.
Which one?
The one on the laptop. It's got some fingers on it.
My t-shirt?
Yeah. There you go.
Good?
Nice! Your t-shirt works good.
My t-shirt is multitasking. Okay. Hi, everybody. So we are now having a live in English. So thank you for your patience. And
welcome, everybody. Welcome those who were with us in the last an hour and a half as well, because I can see some of those. Magda, by the way, where are you in France? Can you write me? If you guys are in Paris, we can probably meet sometime. Magda and Arek.
Okay, guys, so I'm gonna grab my coffee.
Okay,
and
go
by
grab
the time
go
you're
grab your
maybe
coffee.
Play some drums.
I'm gonna play a little
something.
bit of hang drum.
Yes.
If you don't mind. And this way we can wait for everybody to join in. All right? I hope you don't mind. So give me just a second.
Honey, would you like some coffee?
No, thank you. Okay, B driver sent a request to be in your live view. Sure how that works. Okay, Magda lives in, and Arek lives in La Ciotat. I have no idea how to say that, so I just butchered it. Is it anywhere close to Paris? All right, so we're now from where? We're from St. Lucia, live from St. Lucia. So I'll play you a little bit of music. This way we can wait for everybody to join in. We've got what? We've got on YouTube. We don't have many people.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Instagram actually has got a lot more. So, all right. So La Ciotat. I have no idea how to say it. It's close to Marseille. No, I'm not in Paris. I was in Paris a few days ago, and I will be in Paris.
I know, because it doesn't look like we are on a boat. That's why, because we are in our living room at the moment.
We're in our living room on a boat. So. So now we're just waiting for everybody to show up.
Hi, Washington.
Dennis, the other half of Anne. Are we talking to Dennis and Anne from Annapolis?
Hello, George. Yes. Correct. This is Dennis.
Cool. Yes. We've been emailing, and in fact, I just got your email about you not being able to join us on the way to Suriname. Too bad, because it'll be fun. But yes, we will be. I didn't answer yet, but yes, we will be coming back from Suriname sometime in the fall, and you're welcome to join. Yeah. Now you can correct your face to smile again. All right. And I guess Anne is here too. 51. Wow, that's big. It's really big. It's actually the same length as ours, but it's a lot taller and it's got a lot more space inside of it. I'm not sure how it sails, but we'll see. I'm sure we'll do some racing. Hi guys. There's quite a bit of you. Quite a few. Very nice. Have you actually tried sailing the Neo 51? guess so.
I guess so.
Okay, guys. We got quite a few of you on Instagram, a little bit light on the YouTube side.
Yeah.
But that's okay because we are trying to migrate away from YouTube. I just read a message and it's just basically upstream battle with people. They decided to disable our comments, which were obviously our best way to come to be in touch with you. And they just decided that because we have kids on the channel, it is best for pedophiles not to be able to read comments, so they disabled the comments for the entire channel. Makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, no comments. No comments, literally. So yes, so we're that's why we're migrating towards Instagram. Also, we're migrating towards our own website, sailoceans.com. And without further ado, yeah, that is totally lame with YouTube. Absolutely. Demo sale last October on Nil 51. Cool. Very cool. Very nice. In France or in the US? Anyway, we'll talk about that later. Welcome everybody once again. Very nice to have you. We'd like to talk today a little bit about environment. Yes. I don't know how this. Well, we got a whole.
Yeah, let's talk about ecology because we just
a little bit of we got a whole bunch of questions. We got a whole bunch of questions that were submitted to us.
Let's start about the ecology, and when the questions are just come out, we're gonna ask questions because we wanted to just raise the very important topic about ecology and being and support the planet and not damage it even further.
Sorry, I have to go to this one.
Okay, we got one question.
All right, are you going to have a third kid?
Okay, so you need to follow us on Instagram. On Insta story, we're gonna show some kind of video about that because
that we recorded yesterday.
Yeah. So maybe, probably.
Maybe we don't know.
Maybe probably.
Don't know. We'll see.
Okay, so let's talk about very important case issues, and having more kids is definitely not this.
Not the answer.
Supporting our planet.
Apparently.
Okay, so we wanted to raise the topic. So first, maybe we talk about our boat.
How did it start for us?
Our sailboat. How we just made to be eco-friendly, and how can we be independent with that? So maybe you can tell about.
Well, one of the very first things we did on Polly, which is our trimaran, and literally that was within the first few days when we owned it, when it was still back in Florida. We bought it in Florida and we were fixing it up. And one of the very first things we did, we had borrowed and drove over to Fort Lauderdale to this one company and bought 4 giant solar panels. And with these hands, we installed them on the roof, and then we wired everything.
And with Julian in my belly.
And with Julian and no, that was after that.
I think so.
That was in between.
Maybe it was like a one-day pregnancy.
That was in between the autopilot and installing the new batteries.
Yeah, exactly. But with having 7-month-old Kuba next to us.
So yes, we're having 7-month-old Kuba next to us. We installed them, and ever since then, we've been basically self-sufficient. To the point of being like 98% reliant on renewable energy, namely sun. We added a wind generator last year, which is even nicer because now the batteries are quite fresh in the morning. They're not so dead. And we don't have to wait until the afternoon to do all the heavy loads. So we make our own electricity. That electricity makes our own water. In turn, from seawater. So we have our own desalination. It's called water maker, basically. So all the basic stuff goes from the nature without the use of fossil fuel. Our dream is to go to electric motors so that we can completely get rid of all the fossil fuel on board. But that's down the road. That's a very expensive system. And at the moment, we're probably estimating somewhere between 60 and 100,000 euros in order to install something like that fully with all the lithium batteries and everything else. So obviously that's not something we're going to get right now. But what we can do on an everyday basis is what we do, which is basically we don't throw anything that's not immediately biodegradable into the ocean. There was a lot of questions about our right toilet, which goes straight into the water. And yes, we do use it. We use it quite a bit, and we use it even when we're on anchor, when there's not too many people around, nobody too close. Otherwise, we use the left one, and that goes into into the electric. Into the holding tank, and we just empty it offshore, which is perfectly fine with the local rules. But most importantly, we're not about rules. We're about following what needs to really be done. And trust me, whatever's natural, whatever comes out of us is fine for the ocean. It disappears within minutes. What we don't throw in is definitely plastic. Plastic is a disaster, absolute disaster. It shows up everywhere. It shows up in fact, there's a whole idea of microplastics that shows up in our bodies as well. But we don't even have to go that far. We have all kinds of fishing nets. We just had somebody on the other live told us that 46% of all the plastic in the oceans is fishing nets. So that's one part of it. The other part of it is us. You wouldn't believe what we see on the bottom of the ocean, what we see floating, and how many animals have died because they consumed pieces of plastic, and that obviously doesn't degrade in any way at all. Turtles, fish, dolphin, whales, all of it. So what we can do every day is definitely getting rid of plastic. So using reusable stuff.
And then a few weeks ago, in April, when we were sailing in the Grenadines, just imagine that because we were planning to raise the topic before about the ecology and about doing the little baby steps in our daily routine that can improve the state of our planet. So then the next day, we just met this guy in Petit Saint Vincent, Eugene. Mm-hmm. And it turned out that he's a reef restorer.
Yeah, marine biologist.
Exactly, and he's just restoring the reef. He's planting the reef, and then we made this interview with him. We didn't publish it yet, but we're gonna do it maybe next month.
And we dove with them.
So first first we did this interview, and he told us about the details about the state of the reef and what is the worst, what we do every day, everybody. Globally to Earth, and that we are really that the planet is really in bad condition and really up. And the next day he invited us, and we just got the occasion, and we could see how he was planting the reef. So it was really amazing. So we just made footage of that. So it was like a underwater, I don't know how to say it, laboratory.
Underwater laboratory, yes.
Laboratory, yes, exactly, and it was amazing.
Mary Matuszewska just raised a very important topic of going vegan. We were vegetarian for about a year, give or take.
I mean, a few years.
At some point. We came back a little bit to meat, but that's very rare for us. It's you're talking about average, I don't know, maybe
once a month.
Maybe a little bit more, but I would say about
twice.
About a few meals a month that contain meat. We do eat fish, but not as much either. So there's a lot of our meals are purely vegetarian.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not completely vegan, but I do have to admit that I eat very occasionally. I eat eggs. And I don't eat milk, so I think that qualifies nearly vegan.
And here, when we are still got some problems with the food supply, so we don't have much choice. So we depend sometimes on the lentils, chickpeas, and we don't mind it because we love it absolutely.
Yeah,
and
it's very.
I think it's like
very good food.
We don't miss anything when we don't meat.
Hello again, Dominika.
Yes.
It's nice to see you again.
So we wanted to raise that topic, and we want to encourage you to send us your opinions, your recommendation, that what you do.
Yeah, what do you do every day?
That's
supposed to not just keep our planet happy,
Yeah, but
because it's all about us not getting it any worse.
yeah.
Really, if we stop doing what we're doing, the planet is going to be just fine.
We can start what we do and what we don't, because we live on a boat, and sometimes there are some things that we cannot put into our life because of that things on the boat, living on a boat. But we use less and less shampoos and shower gels.
We actually don't use detergents.
Chemicals.
Yeah. We basically use them like I'll use a shampoo right before I go to work once every 2 weeks this way.
And kids never use any
kids
shower
don't
gels
use
or shampoos.
and they're just fine. Guess what?
And,
their
you can
skin
smell
is
them
perfect.
and it's fine. It's really fresh.
Mary, you got a point. Fish. Yeah, we don't buy, and this is something you can do. We don't buy tuna in a can, which is basically supporting an industry that's completely overfishing and depleting the oceans. But instead, we're buying a local fish, either from the locals or we actually fish one out, and we eat the whole thing, obviously. So none of it is going to waste. And unlike most of the food supply in Western countries, which basically 50% of all the food made is going to garbage, which is crazy, absolutely insane. We could eliminate world hunger if we just miraculously decided to take all the food out of the trash and somehow teleport it to all the places that the food is needed. It's insane. So it's not about that the planet cannot support us. It's that it cannot support the way we live right now. So it's all about changing the way of life.
Yeah, exactly. And for the last few days, when we just got this water maker and mineralization system, we don't buy any water in the bottles and any juices in a
in the paper boxes.
In the paper boxes, yes, exactly. Yeah. So we just depends on our on our own water system. So this is how we try to avoid to buy plastics. But there are some things when we use plastic, but not as a one-time use.
Yeah, for us it's reusable. It stays here.
For example, when I just bought 4 years ago, when we just moved into the boat, we just bought some plastic boxes to, for example, for food or something, and we still got this. And because on the boat, even though you buy the stainless things, after
the normal kitchen stainless steel actually rusted.
Gets rusty.
It gets rusty. So plastic is the way to go.
Sometimes we just use even we got few
plastic. Plastic is not bad. Plastic is bad if you throw it in the water. This is one of the.
Not only because they just they're collecting the plastic bags in that
right.
mountains of plastic.
So what I'm saying is plastic is bad when you actually trash it, but if you are using it forever, then that's fine. Anne's got a good point. She's asking, well, what do we do about eating fish? Honestly, I don't have a good, clear answer about it. I would think that buying in the local market, from a fisherman would be the way to go, rather than buying from tuna in a can.
Yeah,
but I don't know how that is going to affect the system.
Yeah, but remember what Eugene said, that we should limit fishing as
well. Right.
So I think when we just limited the eating meat for 1 a month, and we eat fish maybe twice a month, because it's the maximum, absolutely. Something is like an optimal stage.
And it's actually, you know what? Ever since we started eating mostly vegetarian, we feel a lot lighter.
Yeah, exactly. Even fish is getting too much meat.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. How do we do shopping? Well, here locally we have a cool system. We go to Martinique if we want some European shopping, cheeses and stuff like that. And all the fresh vegetables and fruit we get here in Zendosha.
Yeah, but about the plastic bags in supermarkets, yes, of course, which we do have few big bags, shopping bags, and wherever.
But we keep using them.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a few years back.
Like those IKEA bags, the ones that are really sturdy and
then
you can use them over and over and over.
To the supermarkets, I just put everything to that bag. But sometimes when I just go to the shopping and I forget, so this is the only thing that I'm trying to collect as much as I can. Then kids are holding things, so But it's like sometimes it happens that I don't tell you that I never use the plastic bags, because sometimes it happens, but we try to avoid it as much as we can every day.
George's got a good point. I like what he said. George is saying it's more about eating what you can source more locally. It's crazy the amount of food we fly around the world. It's absolutely insane.
And then you just put the fuel into the ocean.
What was this? There was some absolutely insane story about Martinique, and like Martinique's got its own giant banana plantations, and guess what? All that banana is going to France, while Martinique is getting bananas, I think, from Dominican Republic. I mean, I'm looking at this and I was like, where is that going? What's the story with that? It's completely insane.
Yeah, so here in the Caribbean, maybe this awareness of being ecological is not so popular, because in many supermarkets they give you the plastic bags, and when you want the coconut water, they give the plastic bottle. So it's like when you look at it, it's like but it's getting better, because in some, for example, restaurants, I could see the paper straws, not the plastic straws. So
it's starting to change.
And here we're next to the resort, but it's like a resort, so I think it would be like inappropriate to just take a few $1,000 a day for a hotel and then serve people with plastic straws. So but it's happening, and this is why we wanted to raise that topic, because I think we are just we have seen so many damaged things, so many plastic in the bottom of the seas, and the reef is getting really bad.
I dove on the reef in most of the Caribbean for the last 20 years, and I can actually in just the 20 years I can see a significant damage. There's a lot of reef that's already dead, and there's a lot of reef that just lost colors, and you can see it's on the way down. So this is not a joke. I mean, it's happening. It's happening, and we've talked to Eugene, and Eugene said that it's some of it was disease, but a lot of it is acidity of the ocean. And I'm not sure what we can do about acidity of the ocean. I think it's a much broader subject, and that's about changing the lifestyle and not driving a car when we don't need it, and not driving a car that's twice as big as we need it,
and buy less,
and just basically buy less.
Exactly.
Buy less, reuse. We actually fix a lot of our own stuff that breaks, instead of just buying a new one.
Sometimes. So
that too. But it does feel good when we have a really good workshop downstairs and we can make a lot of our own parts, or redo parts in order to make things work again. It's really cool.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't need many clothes, we just really simple.
Yeah, well, that's kind of a nice thing about living in
one pair of shoes.
One pair of shoes for getting out of the boat. Other than that, it's pretty much nothing most of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we dress up for the life, because we can show up the way we normally are here.
That's fine. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Dennis, yes, I make a lot of stuff out of especially stainless steel. I have a lot of stuff that not a lot, but I'm saying, like, when I need something, I'll usually manufacture something, and I have a lot of different tools that allow me to create things more or less from scratch, or at least fix the stuff that breaks. I even, for the second time in my life, I even welded the davits for the dinghy a few months ago, and it's holding. I never thought I'd be a welder. So yeah, you can learn a lot of stuff. It's really cool. It's really satisfying. Thanks, Anne. Okay, so Anya, where's your list of questions?
My list.
Yeah, because there was a lot of questions coming.
Okay, yeah, perfect. So the list, and some of them were already okay. So
Dennis wants to sleep in the basement when they come sailing with us.
Oh, okay, for sure. In the engine room?
In the engine room, yeah.
Oh no, please.
He wants to soak in the expertise.
Okay, we got a question here. So many questions. Okay, medical cover for kids, and how we just homeschooling, kids homeschooling.
It's a big subject.
Questions. Yeah, maybe let's start with the homeschooling kids.
Homeschooling. Yeah. Wow. We don't really have much faith in the current educational system. Needless to say, we don't have much faith in the system to begin with. I guess you had already noticed that. But educational system is part of the problem too. In our opinion, the educational system misses few critical points in educating young people to become adults, or more or less, it's not. What we really need is educating adults to be kids again, quite frankly. But
so we practice every day homeschooling.
We practice every day homeschooling.
The point is that kids are still young, so they had 5.
Yeah, at the moment we're not formally teaching them just yet because they're 4 and 5, but they're already very much interested.
More than teaching learning English.
And I think this is the entire point. The entire point is that the kids are innately interested in almost everything. They'll soak in anything there is to soak in the area. We, as a humanity, didn't create all the progress because somebody educated us. Our own creativity, our own drive to be interested in things that surround us, created all the progress. And that wasn't because we had school to begin with. Schools were invented long time after that. After all after a lot of technological progress took place. So the point is this: we innately have this as kids, and I have a bad feeling that the educational system is actually killing it rather than supporting creativity, because it's basically putting you in narrower and narrower frames every day, and it produces basically conformance to the system rather than people who think independently, creatively, and critically for the most important thing.
End of subject.
End of subject. So we're definitely gonna homeschool kids. We've talked to a lot of parents who do that, and the consensus is that it takes about two maximum 3 hours a day is enough to cover the typical program from any educational ministry or department or whichever country you go with.
Yeah, so we are at the moment the school batch to go to school next year formally. So at the moment we just started to just search for program from country. We don't, it's like for us it doesn't have any different. So we're trying to look for some program from school, and we haven't decided yet which it's gonna be, but we are on our way.
No, and we're not following a specific program just yet.
Yeah. Now they are just following they learn English because they have.
I'm starting to get the feeling like I want them to follow whatever they want, and that would be kind of going to according to the democratic school rules. The Kuba just picked up out of his own, started really getting interesting in math on his own.
Yeah.
It's pure biochemistry actually that when we're interested in something. It's right there. When we're interested in something, we have the actual biochemistry in our body that allows for building new neural connections. If we're not interested, as in we're kids sitting in the bench in a chair, staring at the wall or a bubbling teacher, and we're probably so bored, unlike these guys, that we're just not making the connections. We might remember whatever was said for a day, 2, 3, until the next test, and then it's right out the head. I remember when I got interested in sailing, I used to start reading books that are way over my head when I was 12 and 13, and to this day I remember the whole passages about weather, about design and what kind, stuff like that. I only get them once, so I think that's the way to go. There was a question from, what's the most important thing, lifesaver thing, while living on a boat? Good one. What is the most important thing on a boat? I got it. The most important thing, life-saving thing on a boat is a partner with which you can progress in life and with which you can talk about anything. with which you can be completely open, you can be completely yourself, you can be absolutely, absolutely natural. There is no taboo. There's no taboos here. There's no masks. We don't act. Acting is extremely energy consuming. It's absolutely energy draining. So if you can be yourself, you can have someone like this next to you, and we
You
can.
talking to me?
You're talking to me. Talking to me. So yeah, I'm talking to them about you.
Slice of chocolate.
Ooh. No, I'm talking about. Mary asked a really cool question. What's the most important thing, lifesaver thing, while living on the boat? I said that it's the partner in crime with which you can progress into things and talk about anything and be completely yourself. And there's absolutely no taboos, and that is absolutely priceless, because that really is a life-saving thing. If you can't have that, you're gonna kill yourself, or each other, or both, if you manage to do that. Kids are being forced to learn stuff they don't want to, and they just follow one pattern of thinking instead of being creative and figure stuff on their own. Absolutely agreed. Pattern, keyword. We don't want patterns. We don't want patterns. We have innate ability to go through life and sense what is good and what is bad. And kids have that when they're young, and then we start losing it. Why? Because we lose connection with our bodies. We lose connection with our innate intuition, and we start putting mind only on the throne. And we think, quote unquote, that the mind can actually grasp everything and control everything. And the mind gets this crazy idea of defending ego and being absolutely the king of our whole being. And it's not. It's a beautiful thing. It's kind of like plastic. You can use it, but you have to know how to use it. If you just let it run wild, then you kind of become dependent on it.
What are our plans for next month? Next month, actually.
Next month.
Yeah.
Anya.
So next week we are happily sailing to Suriname, to South America. So this is the place where we are going to put our boat for the hurricane season, and this is how we want to survive the hurricane season. And thanks that we just checked this place last year, and it was quite nice and it was quite safe for our boat, our home. So we decided to come back this year again, and thanks that we can go to Poland for 2-3 months for summer and visit our family, spend some time together. So yes, next month we're going to Poland until September. We're gonna be in Poland, and then in September we're coming back. So next week we're sailing 600 miles, and we are sailing straight from St. Lucia to Suriname. Hope to be have 2 days of sailing instead of 5 or 6.
It's largely depends on where the wind's going to be. If it's going to be southeast, it's going to be more like 5 days. If it's going to be northeast, it's going to be more like 2 days and change.
Yeah. So when we come back to Suriname from Poland, we want to explore Suriname a little bit more, because now we are a little bit in a hurry, because our parents and family can't wait to see us, especially our kids, not us, of course. But so we probably do some live video from Suriname and go for our patrons at least. But we want to show you Suriname. It's really amazing. Maybe the views are not so stunning as we have it here, but the people
are amazing.
And the energy of people is really amazing. The people are really nice. Really,
we could talk a lot about that, but I'll just give you one example. We did this little experiment. We were driving around for most of the day, and we decided to like wave at random people and smile at them. There wasn't a single person that didn't wave it back at us and didn't smile.
Yeah, they're really happy. They're smiling
it's a completely different kind of energy. It's just an awesome country. They're extremely tolerant, and they actually practice themselves for living because it's a completely melting pot. There's no one major ethnic group. There's quite a few big ones, but none of them are majority. So it's amazing.
The next question
you know what Anne just said about the. I just want to go back for a second to the homeschooling idea. And we've had quite a few fans that told us in the comments and actually in emails that they homeschooled their kids all the way to university, to college. and they've been very successful people, very creative, very independent, very responsible. So for the moment, we don't see a reason not to, unless there is some other overriding idea that's gonna, eventually kids become kind of self-standing, and they might come up with an idea that they want to go to school. So we'll discuss that. But at the moment, I see that if they want to, we can homeschool them all the way to college or university, and we'll see.
Not to plan so much.
We're trying not to plan too far.
I don't know what's gonna happen. Yeah, maybe
exactly.
we're gonna
maybe
find
universities
some excellent...
Maybe universities won't exist in 10 years, and will be a moot subject.
Or when we go to Pacific somewhere, and maybe we're gonna find some excellent school, and we're gonna stay there longer. And you didn't want a coffee? Please don't grab my cup. Yeah. Next question: do we? So many people ask us if we feel safe here with locals, and do I feel safe when I'm staying here alone with kids when Bartek is away to work, after work? So yeah, so we get some accidents with locals in the Caribbean, and we avoid the Caribbean islands that are not so safe. So we got so many places that we can visit that we can choose.
The few places that are suspicious, we just basically
exactly. But even here in Saint Lucia, there are so many people that maybe for many other people will be like a little too dangerous to be here, because they are, sometimes, they're people with very hungry, without money. And so we're trying to just, what we do is, I think we're just trying to follow the simple rules. We want to be in good relationship with them, so I understand they want to earn some money, so sometimes we just give the garbage to one guy.
I think the point is to whenever we're in we basically feel like part of the local community. We don't feel anything like special or anything like that. Although I understand we're so far because we bring people here, we show them. So, but it's nice that the local people actually appreciate the fact that we love St. Lucia, that we support we support the island, that we promote it. And
videos of Ireland.
But whenever I get into basically one-to-one human relation, that's it. That's all there is to it. It's just one human to another human, And if you can walk in his shoes or her shoes, then you can definitely talk to them. And most of the time, there's not an issue, at the end of the conversation.
Yeah. But we understand it that some people are just, for example, hungry. And they just think of today, what's going to be today, and if I can eat something, not to think of the tourism of the country, of the islands, what's going to be next year, what people say about the island. So when they're starving, so the only thing they are got in their minds just to eat something, whatever,
survive.
And even to still
it's to survive till tomorrow.
It's some little money to get some food. So this is the reality of these islands here, and so we decided to live here. And so we are aware that, sometimes we can get some troubles here, but we just avoid the situation, and we do that. Sometimes we just keep smiling and just buy some things from one guy, and, not to just involve in trouble. Yeah.
What's next?
So many questions. Can we share some food recipes with you guys? Yes, of course, I will. Please be patient. I'm gonna put what I want to do is I would like to just set up a new tag, a new section on our website. Tab.
Hopefully one tag will be. Hopefully tag will be one. It will only take one tag to get to Suriname from here.
Yeah, sorry for my English. Sometimes it's crazy. So I'm gonna tag in the tab. So it's gonna be a section with my recipes. So we're gonna put it. And what's next? What do we do with garbage? Did we say about the garbage?
Yeah, it's part of the whole environmental discussion. We collect all the garbage that doesn't quickly decompose. The only thing we do throw overboard is stuff that immediately decomposes. So like food, not even peels anymore, because we've been told that peels, some of the peels, like grapefruit peels, could take a while to decompose. So we don't even throw those away anymore. We admit that we used to do that. But somehow I don't see how that would create a giant environmental problem. So I don't feel so bad about it. But yeah, remaining of food,
and
basically.
How much do we pay per bag? So we just pay here in the Caribbean, we pay here in St. Lucia $5 EC dollars, Eastern Caribbean dollars, so it's $2 American dollars per bag. Yeah.
What bag?
When you just put the bag to.
You mean trash bags?
Trash bags.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah.
You didn't say anything. I thought you were talking about buying something.
No.
Okay.
Why do I need to buy garbage?
No. I thought you were talking about shopping or something.
No. About the garbage. Yeah. How much do we pay for staying here in our favorite places? For example, here in the mooring in St. Lucia, every day you pay for for this kind of boat we have. You pay $20 US per day.
But if you stay here as long as we do, you can buy an annual fee for $500. You get basically unlimited stay for the whole year.
But
so obviously that comes out to be it's substantially less than if you just.
So normally for the mooring buoys, you pay for 20, 30 US dollars per
and that's
day.
exactly how we spend most of the time, either on the mooring or on the anchor, which basically the anchor doesn't cost anything. It's completely free. So given the fact that we're not paying for the marina, two most significant costs of owning a boat is marina and outsourcing all the labor on board. Because boat is not a car. You cannot just park it and leave it and come back 3 months later and go sailing. It doesn't work like that. It needs constant attention. So if you do most of the everyday work on your own, which is what I do, and if you park the boat on the anchor or on the mooring, then 80 or even 90% of your normal cost is out. So it just really is a different story. Okay. I want to touch on another subject.
Like staying in the marinas is like
no, it's no fun.
When we need to stay for a few days, and then after a few days we're so tired.
We're tired because we don't have the cool breeze. Normally if you're on the mooring or on the anchor, the boat turns directly into the wind. It's beautiful. Welcome, hello from Istanbul.
Yeah, and the best part is that you can jump straight to the water here.
You can jump straight to the water. Like we said, we're pretty natural, so we most of the time run around half naked or naked on the boat. So there's no. So we jump in the water, and this way we don't bother anybody and don't offend anybody's standards. It's great. You're on your own, and we don't have any need for the electricity and for the water, like we said in the beginning. We produce all of that ourselves.
And we don't have I'm asking about the ventilation, so we don't have any AC.
We don't have air conditioning yet. We have it, but we don't use it.
We have our own AC, so hatches open.
Hi, Pizza.
Windows open all the time. It's not so bad.
I want to go to a really cool question by Sophisticated. Please enjoy every single moment you create. Too many people are dreaming of your lifestyle.
Whoa.
Wow. I love it not because they're dreaming about our lifestyle, but because I think inevitably we inspire some people to start looking into their life and getting in touch with the most fundamental dream in their own life and actually going after it. That doesn't have to be buying a boat. It can be something completely different, but the whole point is to find what you love and following it. And that's exactly what we did. And it could be 1,000 different things.
But don't worry, on a daily basis, we sometimes forget about it. And we just, get stressed about little things.
Well, we do, but
so it's like, oh my gosh, we're here in the
Caribbean. So we'll be doing
relax, slow Rasta life, but it's not so easy. So this is what
we'll be doing a lot more talking about this because it is very close to our heart. This whole issue of getting away from the system and getting others away from the system and actually seeing for yourself who you are, what is it that you love, what is it that you want to go after. And we've been doing a lot of meditation, a lot of tantra work, and that also has to do with sort of coming back to your basics. And that also has to do with getting in touch with not only yourself, but with finding the connection with other people, finding the connection with Mother Earth, and so on and so on and so on. Something like, taking the mind away, off the throne. It's so our dream right now is, and it's something we're sort of trending towards, that eventually to start creating workshops around that subject and about rediscovering what is it that you really are in your life and what you can be for yourself. Because if you're not satisfied with where you're going in your own life, you can't possibly help others. So yeah, this is something I have this dream about going and creating this group of people and just going to some deserted island, spending a week there and doing meditation and all different practices and just basically rediscovering a whole new life. So we'll see. We'll get to that point, right?
Probably.
Anya's been very active in Tantra as well. She's got like some higher degree of education in the business.
Probably.
And I've been to quite a few different workshops, and it's been very much life-changing for us.
But still, we're just catching ourselves to get that we are involved so deeply into that patterns and programs that even though we live in the Caribbean and we should be in a Rasta life, Rasta mode, slow life, so we really want to be perfectionist and very efficient, ideal. And when we get long things to do, and we want to do it as much as we can every day, and at the end of the day, I summarize, what I have done today. Can I be satisfied that, oh my God, I should do and this and that, and oh my God.
And apparently laying around and doing nothing and just playing is still not on the list of achievements. Although it's getting there.
Exactly.
It's getting there.
So still it's very difficult to get out from that patterns.
The program is terrible.
You should be effective. Do as much as you can,
because your family, your school, your society, everybody told you that if you're not doing anything, you're not worth anything.
So it's really difficult, but we are on our way.
So part of this work that we do is basically deprogramming all that nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's where we also get this crazy idea. And how ignorant is that? That a guy that is sitting next to his house here in the Caribbean, just catching 2 or 3 fish a day, and subsisting on that, is supposed to be less happy than us. Well, guess what? Most of the time, they're a lot more happy than most of the Westerners. Let's see what's happening in the meantime. All right, quick technical question. How is the ventilation on our boat? It's excellent. Yeah. It's we were surprised. We only have one hatch in the center of this big salon, and it is crazy. It's like a hurricane inside, especially right now. It's definitely enough. If you're sitting in the marina, no. But if you're on the anchor or on the mooring all the time, facing the wind, everything's fine. There's plenty of wind going through the boat. We never needed air conditioning. I actually literally gave away air conditioning unit about 2 years ago, one of them, because we didn't need it.
Yes, George. Time disappears with kids is like a click.
Yeah, that's another thing. That's another thing that a lot of people don't realize. We have small kids, and I'm quite happy that I came to this conclusion not after the fact, but during the fact, that I will not trade 1 more hour at work to buy something else for another hour with my kids. It's completely priceless. It'll never come back, and this is the time. I just absolutely love it. I turned into a 6-year-old with those two and go completely nuts, and we have pillow fights, and it's totally insane and beautiful. It's not coming back ever.
Exactly. Yeah.
You'll never buy it back. Sorry.
Don't click here.
Click. Let's see.
And you're asking if you can get this one, because I just make an Insta story about the natural and solution jewelry. Yes, probably because I got so much of it. So I think I should make some little bracelets and necklaces for you, and maybe we just give away to our patrons. Yeah, this is what we're gonna do. It's really nice. I love it, absolutely. I'm a big fan of the natural things here. Yeah.
What's the most beautiful place we've ever visited, seen? Wow, there's quite a few. I hate making competition out of this because they all feel, there is definitely, we have a list of our favorite places,
I think, but
they all feel different.
Yeah, but number one, I think it's like still Pitons here where we're staying.
It's definitely tops the list.
We spent so much time here, and we're not, we're never
bored with
exactly.
it. Yeah, it's beautiful.
But here. The Bahamas were really
Bahamas were amazing.
Okay, so if you want to see the absolutely beautiful place we visited, it was like when we just found the abandoned lighthouse in the Bahamas, in the Bird Rock Island. So you can Google the Bird Rock Islands in our videos. So this is absolutely amazing, magical place.
And it's got a really crazy story attached to it.
Yeah. So in the video we were telling about the story, the crazy story.
Yeah, you should see it. You're gonna enjoy this.
Okay, and I got a question: have we ever regretted? Moving
have we ever regretted moving onto the boat?
Exactly.
Yeah. No.
But it was really tough time.
It was tough in the beginning. It was tough in the beginning. I have to admit, I had one moment in, I think around March or April 2016, where I kind of got this feeling for a moment that I'm a slave of the boat because stuff was breaking left and right and just did not have time to breathe. It was basically emergency mode 24/7. It was crazy. And then it started subsiding. Then in 2016, we did a lot of work on the boat to fix all the things that were too new to work after the 2015 refit. And things got a lot calmer after that.
But it was maybe one thought, but we always.
But I think it didn't come until actually this season. After this season, that we actually got a lot of space.
So at the moment, we want more and more. We didn't get bored, and we are not. We don't have enough, and we want more because time is getting so fast. So we cannot even imagine that we have been living on a boat for almost 4 years.
Yeah, it just went by like this.
I don't know how it's happened. I can even don't remember the kids, little one, they crawling here on the floor. So. It was crazy. Yeah.
Pizza, thank you. I like that we're inspiring.
Yes.
Not to build our ego, but to basically raise consciousness.
Yeah.
About life being so short.
I think we got only 5 minutes on Instagram before it's gonna end.
Yep.
Okay.
So guys, any other questions that you have right now? Otherwise, we're just gonna go through the rest of the list that we have here from people that submitted beforehand.
Yeah.
How do the kids get to school if weather is bad? Weather is never bad here.
Even
honestly, if it's raining, we just go through it.
Or we just wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I look at the clouds from the window and see, okay, it's 10 minutes. Okay, relax, and we're gonna go in 10 minutes.
It's really easy to tell what the weather is going to be.
But here,
in the next,
between the mountains, the weather is really moody sometimes. So it's like like a 10 minutes raining and it's sun. So yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Are we going to look for a new babysitter?
No, we're not, because we fell madly in love with Kasia, and apparently that's a mutual feeling. So we came to the conclusion that we love her, and she came to the conclusion that she wants to stay, so she's staying.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get funny looks always vlogging in town? Not really. I guess unless maybe we just don't care. We just don't notice
sometimes
that.
I do care.
You do care?
Yeah.
Sometimes when you're talking to your own camera?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. I guess I don't. I guess I just don't care.
Most of the time I do it.
Well, I do it too. I do it oftentimes in the uniform, at work.
Yeah, sometimes I get this impression that people look at me and they think, oh my God, she should look at the kids, not talking to the camera, It's like, oh my God. So, and then, oh my God, I should have this video.
Should. Oh, by the way, should is our favorite word that we banned in this family. Should. It's like outsourcing that I want you to do something, but I don't want to take responsibility for that. I love it. Yeah, we have quite a few of those things. Yeah, Kasia is the best. You're right. Yeah. Guys, what I was going to say. Yeah, we have this problem with YouTube with the comments, so we're Just now posted the very first episode on Instagram TV. Let us know how you like it. Let us know how it goes.
But it's on YouTube as well.
Yeah, it's on YouTube as well. We're going to go parallel. But let us know how that goes. Let us know if it's working out for you. If we see that Instagram is working well, we're just going to migrate some of the stuff, future stuff, more towards Instagram, because YouTube is just too moody. It's got a neurotic management that just decided to make our life miserable.
At the moment we're dealing with that policy, YouTube policy, we'll see what's going to be.
We'll see where that's going.
So it's like a kind of experiment.
But we're also trying to get you guys to come to our saleoceans.com. This way we can be independent of the very corporations we got away from and their neurotic management style and their PR and their propaganda and their filters.
Okay.
Next one.
Can you recommend?
But we appreciate you being on, some of you being on Patreon or actually donating via PayPal. It's not about that we need money to support ourselves. We have money. We're doing just fine. We have stuff to eat. We have money to take care of the boat. But money is a funny thing. It's like energy that when you invest yourself into the subject, you're sending it with your money. So even if it's $1, that means a lot for us, because it means something that you're willing to be with us. We're willing to support what we're doing, and it seriously gives us quite a bit of kick to keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah, and we can invest that money in our gear.
Yeah, that too. I mean, obviously it does add up. And Anya is spending quite a bit of time in it. So she feels like she's actually getting somewhat paid for what she's doing.
A bit for my, sometimes one dress.
Because she's doing like 95% of editing. So
kids are really polite because they're watching the movie, so that's why they are so polite at the moment.
Yeah. We have to admit that we try to limit the screen time for them, but when we need to do something and it needs to be quiet, then like any parent will tell you, it's the easiest way to keep them calm and contained for a little bit.
You interrupted me. I can't remember what
I'm sorry.
To ask.
So
really.
Really?
My mind is empty completely.
All right.
It was quite an important question. Oh my god, really?
Sorry.
Oh my god.
Incredible. I wanted to finish my thought.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, and what I wanted to say, I know. Okay, but...
Any other questions, guys?
Yeah.
Because we're kind of...
It's 1 hour?
Yeah. It's 1 hour. Anyway, we're probably gonna throw in a live from Suriname when we get there, probably from our patrons, and this way we can tell you how it went and how fast we got there, and what the weather was.
Yeah,
and all
you
that
can enjoy
stuff.
today. You can enjoy our new episodes, because a few months ago we met Dearest, a really famous sailing blog, the crew from Delos. So I just made a video, and this morning I published it. So
and they're actually really cool in life, So if you want to subscribe to them, definitely do that.
Yeah.
They're really cool guys.
I remember when you subscribe,
speaking of the devil,
turn on the notification bell.
Yeah, because we have many people who subscribe to us, but they're not getting notifications that we're putting out new movies. So definitely do that, please.
Yeah, exactly. And what next? I think so. We're getting to the point, so we're gonna say bye.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else that we didn't answer.
Yeah, there's so many questions, and
just a light one at the end. Anchor watches. We don't do anchor watches. Anchor watches are done by our phone. Our phone has a little application app that is basically we set like a circle around the boat, and if the boat, which means the phone, floats out of that circle with the boat, it just raises the alarm. That's it. Simple as that. Done.
I know. What was the question?
Do we follow other sailing channels?
Honey, stop.
Oh, I'm sorry.
First me, because
I'm sorry.
I just from. Do you recommend any sailing course, something like that? The books or something like that for beginners or.
Do I recommend any books?
Yeah. So this one wanted to talk about our plan for the future for next month. So about the Udemy.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So
our idea is
to do, because we cannot recommend, because actually many people ask us about it and we couldn't find any of that. So we decided that
there's
we're gonna
plenty,
do
but
our
we don't
own.
use it.
So we're gonna do our own. Especially my husband is really talented, and he's got 30 years of experience living on.
So we're trying to do something very basic on Udemy, so that it gives you the at least an idea. If you go on be a crew first time on the boat, at least you can learn some knots. You can know what this is for, what that is for, and you're not going to be completely lost on this. So we'll let you know when that happens. Hold on. Okay. Live plus reconnecting. We lost Instagram.
On Instagram. It's okay.
Yep. No, but we had. Okay. Share. Okay. I think we should reconnect. Okay. Yeah. Can you reconnect?
I'll go for a few minutes. Okay.
Please. Okay. Thank you.
And Dennis is asking about t-shirts.
Yes, we're gonna make t-shirts this summer.
Some kind of this.
Yeah, some crazy stuff.
Very funny, like this. This is my favorite. Look at it. Nobody's perfect except the cup.
But we'll make some stuff with our logo, which I hope you like as much as we do.
Funny t-shirts.
Yeah, some funny t-shirts, and we'll make some hats and that kind of stuff. So.
Did you finish the topic about the sailing?
Okay.
Yeah.
The sailing.
Learning how to sail.
Okay, learning how to sail. So we're gonna put out. We'll let you know when it's ready, but we're gonna put out basically at least a basic course on how to get around the boat and do most of the basic things on Udemy. It's this platform for basically training and
how to prepare. For example, even when you're planning to live on a boat, how to prepare everything.
Yeah, we'll do something like that too.
And me as mom, I want to tell other mom my experiences with kids. For example, about the homeschooling, learning kids other languages. So we got really a lot of experience now. So, and there was a lot of challenges because they are not so, they're not so angels. So I needed to work really a lot to get their motivation and focus on the topic. But now we just came through it, and we're getting to the point we want to share it with you, with other families who want to live on a boat, to travel.
Yeah, there's no point. There is no point for you to reinvent the wheel. If we ran into something that caused problem for us and we found the fix for it, we'll just share it with you.
Yeah, we sometimes on many things we spend so much. For example, you in the engine room, you spend so much time, sorting out some kind of problems, and now it's really easy. Sometimes you just pay a few dollars and you get the solution for very important things, and we want to share it with you.
And oftentimes from a place you expect the least.
Yeah.
Like I found some automotive parts that really work well, for sailboats in certain places.
Yeah. So thank you. Thank you, Dennis, for encouraging me to produce more t-shirts. No, our own t-shirts. Okay. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Well,
yeah. So
I think
we're getting to the point we should say bye and
yes,
and turn off the movie that kids are watching.
Exactly, because their brains are gonna fry. Yeah. They need to go play rather than stare at the screen.
Yeah,
and you need to go play rather than stare at the screen too.
So now you can enjoy our new episodes at YouTube about Dearest, and there is what's the boat over there? Just coming really close to our boat.
Yep,
so there's one episode just uploaded and published about Dearest, and then there's another one already published on our Patreon page. So if you cannot wait how we ended up with Dearest drinking Polish vodka,
then just join our Patreon
yes,
team.
Exactly, and we promise some gifts for our patrons, like this kind of stuff. Really
it's been a pleasure, guys. Thank you too. Thank you. Yeah. And we'll see you. I don't know.
From Serena?
In about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Probably. Give or take.
Yeah.
We'll
Fingers crossed for a safe passage and really fast, not upwind. Bye.
See you. Bye bye.